Gertrude, thanks for coming out. The beeps you're hearing are real-time signals from the Neuralink in Gertrude's head.
Elon Musk is going to answer the deepest, oldest question in humanity using the Neuralink. He is going to let us know what happens when we die.
Like and subscribe, please. We're slowly, very slowly, like turtles.
Like and subscribe.
Come on, click those, pass it on to a friend.
Yeah, guys,
let them learn about things.
So this Neuralink connects to neurons that are in her snout. So whenever she snuffles around and touches something with her snout, that sends out neural spikes, which are detected. Each of those dots represents a neural spike, and the blue chart at the bottom is showing an accumulation of neural spikes in that region.
There will be a person with a Neuralink attached that will die, especially once they have really good data on what's happening in the brain based on the information that they're getting. There's the part in the video where he shows the pig walking.
When we have one of our pigs on a treadmill, we take the readings from the neurons and we try to predict the position of the joints. So we have the predicted position of the joints. We measure the actual position of the joints. You can see that they're almost exactly aligned. So we're able, with a wireless neural implant, to actually predict the position of all of the limbs in the pig's body with very high accuracy.
And using their AI, they were trying to predict what the pattern's going to be, if where the joints are going to be based on just their patterns. And when it's wrong, they use the actual position to make the AI smarter. So what he's saying is, at a certain point, when they have enough data that they can tell you exactly what's happening in the brain, somebody with a Neuralink will die. And
but once brain activity stops, we'll see the ending of that life.
Brain activity does not stop like right away. I mean, even
there's some process there.
Yeah, even if you get shot, there's cardiac arrest, there's a bunch of processes that happen in the state of dying. But if we had this information right now, this would fundamentally change how we are as a species. And that could change us more than even putting people on Mars. So what you're talking about is investing in technology, and investing in technology that has the ability to answer some of these age-old questions and potentially lead to a spiritual awakening. By looking at this pig doing these things, there's a lot of steps between A to B. Like, by the time Elon Musk does that, it'll be so obvious that the pig was the first step. That's why I sent you that link to Futurism today, because these are companies that are trying to do something 50 years in the future. And they're doing step A and B of the end game being like, HIJ. So as an investor, when you look at what a company does, taking it to their end game, even beyond what the company says, sometimes can give you a clue.
Well, I take it in terms of this. Elon Musk, I don't know who's arguing this at this point, but he is the comic book equivalent of Iron Man, right? He's basically Tony Stark. He has a company. He's making all these cool things. He's building the future. Whoever's arguing this, goddamn idiot. Okay, we know that. So as an investor,
those guys shorting it.
He's proven it. He can execute. He's doing Tesla. Solar City's integrated into Tesla now. He has SpaceX, which is going to space right now, sending little tiny satellites, and he's building a whole network of communications right now. I forgot what Starlink, right? It's called Starlink. Whoever is downing this motherfucker is a lunatic, and I would invest in any company he has, and I wish I can get into SpaceX. That'd be like my favorite. That'd be the best all-time investment for the next 20, 30 years.
Well, it's
where he's going is insane, right?
So guys, how this relates to investing is, when you're an investor, it's not just about looking at CNBC and watching charts. It's about understanding the way that the world is evolving around us and what are going to be the technologies in the future.
I believe that's a dildo you have on screen. Is that correct?
that was the Starship. Yeah, this is the SpaceX starting to work on the super heavy booster. So I think the part that we've seen him test is this part right here, but now they're building this part right here, which is going to be the largest rocket ever built. And if you look at what he's saying, according to Musk, the super heavy booster will have more than twice the thrust of the Saturn rocket that carried the Apollo astronauts to the moon, 3 times the thrust of the company's own Falcon Heavy. He did change that it's only going to have 28 Raptor engines, down from 31, but in a sense, we're cranking them up. So in a sense, Elon Musk is going to overclock these engines. Right. Probably due to weight. I would say that if he gets more power out of the 28, they'll have more.
Oh yeah, it's weight, and you're burning more fuel. Yeah, of course.
Right. There's a lot of talk about SpaceX going public, and hopefully, eventually, they just move them all together. I mean, Elon Musk is this giant ETF. Tesla is this giant ETF. Tesla as a car company alone has access to things that every other car company has to partner with. They have to partner with somebody else to do it. But Neuralink is this one that is kind of, it's just off to the side. It seems like a pet project, but there is a point when all these things come together and they make a beautiful picture of a world where it's just you're interacting with the world based on the way you think. The world is giving you feedback. The implant is allowing you to process things, and all you have to do as a human is the part that separates you from machines is just enjoy it. You really just get to a point where you just enjoy the world with your body, and everything else is handled by machines in a beautifully simple, safe, economic, that's in congruency with the environment. It's a utopia. It really is.
Well, yeah, he has a plan to help the world, basically, and humanity. And then for the last 12, 13, 14 years, everyone is fighting him on that.
I mean, if you think about how many wars have been fought with just over energy. I mean, part of the reason the United States even cares about the Middle East is energy.
Why did we go to Iraq, right?
What if
why did that happen?
Yeah, why did we go to Iraq for the oil? If every place, if energy was decentralized and everyone had access to energy, that is a leveling of the playing field.
Yeah.
That would be humongous. I mean, a country like Africa with that desert could become the energy supplier of the planet with just by
or at least all of Africa. At least
it would definitely be all of Africa. But I mean, enough. I read somewhere that enough energy falls in a 100 square mile part of the Earth to power the Earth for a year.
Elon Musk said, I forgot what was the square footage, but he said somewhere in Ohio, I forgot how many acres you get, but it's literally one place. You get a bunch of acreage there. You build a solar farm that powers all the United States. That's it.
That's it.
And people have been making fun of him, including Jim Cramer and all that, when he first said it.
Yeah.
But that is what's going to happen. It's just everybody wants to slow us down from that progress because there's a lot of industry that depends on that not happening.
It's not even that they don't want to be on board with it. They're actively trying to stop
it. Yeah, because their livelihoods are at stake, or let's say even their profits, even if they're fine and they just don't want to give up anything, obviously, for the betterment of mankind.
This starts to get into the conversation about capitalism. What those companies are doing is not actually wrong. It is in no company's best interest to undercut their core business model, right? And if your core business model is pulling oil out of the ground and creating value and money for your investors and your family, those CEOs are not thinking about the damage they're doing to the planet. They're thinking about their immediate people, and that's how it's justified. They're saying, I'm doing what I need to do to satisfy the needs of my shareholders. Unless there's a new metric introduced into the way that we score these companies, that's going to be the case. Do you see this? One day ago, Elon Musk becomes the world's fifth richest man. 12 hours ago, Elon Musk is now the third richest person in the world.
Right, that is funny. One day. Whatever he's doing right now, and we consider that tremendous, now with the actual capital behind him, completely, as opposed to everyone thinking, oh, he's failing and Tesla's dying. Nobody's thinking that anymore, obviously. So that's all dead.
He took out 5
Remember
billion.
our dip? We wanted a dip to 300 before the split, of course. We wanted the not adjusted price dip to 300. So that's never happening. Our dip is not coming. And if it dips now, it's still a $1,500 stock. That's what it is if it dips. Anyone doubting this man right now, you're really a lunatic. Like, you're just a lunatic. We all know it's gonna dip 20% at some point. We all know that. But goddamn, it's probably gonna be worth $5,000 and dip back to $4,000.
Right. It's gonna happen when it's like $7,000. It's gonna come out. The bargain basement price.
So you would have missed this whole run up because you were so waiting for the dip, just like everybody was waiting for. This is back to freelancer finance, but everyone's waiting for Amazon back in the day to go back down to a regular price to earnings.
Yeah.
It was always like a price to earnings of 1,000 or 3,000. It was like insane if we go back to the history.
Yeah.
It's always been hot and super high. And now everyone's afraid that we're in a bubble, like all these other stocks let's say Zoom. That might be in a bubble, maybe, because it's thousands of a P.
No.
And Shopify might be in a bubble.
Right.
All these companies might be in a bubble. But honestly, they're also taking over at the same time. Well, they're literally killing it. I hope it stops running right now. I hope it chills. I hope it drops a little bit and gives us a chance to even buy some more shares. That's my optimal solution, because then I know, hey, it's established a base that, like, its base is, let's say, $400, which is $2,000 pre-split, right? If it just keeps going up like that, it's going to go just as hard straight down.
At a certain point when people take profits, you're right, but everyone has different sell points. Depending on where they got in, there's going to be...
Yeah,
like
but
Bitcoin,
there's a cascade.
level, there's
There's a
support.
cascade. People will run out doors. As soon as this drops past a certain amount, people will run out the doors. Doesn't mean it's going back to 250 back pre-split. I'm saying, but halving the price, totally possible. I'm not selling. I'll be honest. Even though maybe me and you should take a little off the table, but we're still thinking about buying more right now, because we're doing it. We think there's like 4 or 5 different catalysts that'll drive it higher. That's what we believe.
This is an agreement you're making with Elon Musk. I'm going to give you this money, and I'm going to live a little more frugal, and I'm going to keep giving you money because I know that you're going to produce something that is going to change the world. And when I pull my money out, I'm going to give it right back to you to get a Tesla.
Or I'm going to buy Neuralink or whatever.
Yeah, I'm going to go buy a Neuralink. You know what I'm saying?